Welcome back to Duckman Cycles and VW Garage. I am your host, the Duckman. We're back today with my 1956 Beetle, also known as Eleanore, who was unfortunately a storm-damaged car taken by Hurricane Ivan, rebuilt by me, and she's currently a chop top and has a bunch of really cool and neat features that I have been adding to her, such as the rear hatch area that I put in here, and that's from a late model bus, a 1973 to 79 bay window bus. And that hatch, I started to get that thing fitted in there yesterday, and I'm going to see if I can try to get it finished today. I have a limited amount of sunlight, but we're going to see what we can do, and let's see how much of it we can get done. So like, comment, subscribe, plug the dingle bell you see next to the subscribe button. I get updates every time that I upload a video. Don't forget Duckman Cycles VW Garage up on the Facebook group page, and if you'd like to email me, duckmancycles@duckshit.net. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We'll be back in a minute. Alright everybody, welcome back. This is the hatch that you guys watched me weld in. I need to finish up the front lip that you see right here because none of this is done yet. It's just tacked in a couple spots. So I'm going to finish doing the cuts on this, and we're going to see if we can run the welds all the way around. And then I'm going to have to start fixing the actual hatch itself. There are some nasty holes that are rusted through it. Some of the corners are rusted off. That corner's completely gone. So between the two hatches that I have, or between two hatch doors I should say, I'm going to make one good door. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to work here. I've got the GoPro set up above so we can get a little bit of time-lapse footage. That guy, the last video, that was actually rather popular, so I think I'm going to stick with that format and continue doing it for a little while, at least until either it bores me or until you guys don't want to see it anymore. Alright, let's go ahead and hop to it. Okay, first things first, I turned the microwave, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I turned the microphone around backwards because yesterday when I was moving this panel around, it caused some excessively loud booming sounds, just that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that makes the sound quality a whole lot better. But we're going to take this hatch out, and I've got a problem. Problem with this one tab over here. It's quite rusted through. It's kind of a mess. So I'm going to need to fix that, and it's actually causing it to get hung up when I slip it in there because it's all bent out of shape. Let's get that out the way. Let's get a good look at what we've got in here. Now it started to get a little dark yesterday as I was just wrapping up, so I didn't get to get as good of a look at it as I wanted to. But I can see that my welds around the edges here actually look pretty good. Everything is nice and planed off. Flat surface is nice and level, but up through here this still does need to be cut. And I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to cut just behind the little swedge bumps here, so that way the bumps still stick up. And there's a reason for that. I actually want to create a little bit of a lip just before the edge of the lid. Now some people, probably most people, wouldn't really care. I know that sounds kind of silly, kind of hokey, and I'm probably way overthinking it, but I'm going to try to leave a little bit of this behind anyway. So I'm going to try to push that cut back a little bit further into this, and I think that should work out. Looking down underneath here, it looks like there's plenty of meat to do that. Okay, so we're going to experiment with that and cut it back right about to that point. And I got to find my Sharpie. I don't know where the hell it went. Always something. Now, quite to my surprise, some of these bumps in the swedging actually do match up. This one here is real close. It's off by about 1/4 of an inch, so I'll just ding it a little bit and put it on there. This one's off here by, about 1/8 of an inch maybe. So I'll fix that. Here it goes in though, and that needs to go in a little bit. This is almost a match. Right here, this little section, that sucker lines up almost perfectly. This here is a complete opposite. This one's an innie, this one's an outie, so I'm gonna have to play with that. Here it lines up again. This one lines up, that one lines up. So I think some of these little bumps I can actually leave alone. I'm not gonna just mess with them at all. And some of the other ones I think I'll just put a little relief cut and fold them into place and make this work so that way all these little swedgings line up. I'm quite happy with what's going on here. I think this is looking good. And I always say that. These are the same words I always say all the time. This is looking good. I'm really happy with this, but actually I am. I really am. This is coming together. Okay. Gonna do some more little relief cuts in here, play with some of these little pieces and see if I can clean this up and make these edges start to work more nicely. This gap does look kind of big, but it's not clamped. If I put a clamp on it, it closes right up. But yeah, after I finish putting my relief cuts in there, I'll make any adjustments to that I need to. Yeah, this is great. All right, let's go ahead and hop back on there. I'll pull the saw out here. I'll probably just use a pair of tin snips, actually, just snip, and use a flat pair of the vice grips, the big paddle-shaped ones, which, by the way, if you want a set of paddle ones, everybody keeps asking me where to get them. Down below in the video description, there'll be a link as to where to get gloves like this, and these are really, really good for anti-vibration, and you kind of need them if you're doing any rigorous cutting with, oh nice, my sawzall's coming apart. It's like rolling off a condom here, or foreskin on it or something. Or anything with an angle grinder. These things vibrate and are really not good for your hands. I've done some damage to myself, as I said a couple years ago. It took me a long time to recover, and I was not working on stuff for quite a while. But I'm going to always be wearing this stuff. Always. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and hop back on here. And my phone's going nuts. I'm gonna have to check that too. Now this may not look like a whole lot to you guys. In fact, it might even look like a mess, but I put in a ton of relief cuts and I folded the metal every which way so that way wherever there's a low spot, these low spots all line up now. Whenever there's a high spot, they line up. Okay, low spot, low spot, low spot, low spot. Here's a low spot. That one needs a little more tweaking. This one's good. But we're just about ready to start welding this sucker in, and I think I'm going to hit the low spots first. Put some clamps on it in a couple different places and press the low spots in. And when this is done, this should look like it was intended to be in here, as if all the stampings were made this way. Okay. Like I said, it doesn't look like much now. In fact, it looks pretty friggin' ugly. But it feels good. Just all these messy, sloppy relief cuts everywhere. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start tacking this thing in there, making a couple more little cuts wherever pieces are a little bit too long. Because if you have a couple of bends in something and then you straighten it out, of course it gets longer. And that's what happened in this case. So some of it had to be shaved off a little bit. But yeah, we're going to jump back on here and start tacking this sucker in and just see what we turn up with. Okay, you can see it's starting to look like something now. This ridge that's along here is buttoned together in a few of the low spots where it scoops down. I got them little tacks put into there. Now the places that are high, I need to close them up a little bit. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of pinching with some of the wide jaw pliers in here and squeezing things together. But once that's done, I should have the proper shaped corrugation like would have been on a stock Beetle, although this was actually a late model replacement piece. This is not correct for this car. Well, so many other things on this car aren't correct, but the replacement part that they make is a generic one that covers all years from I think 56 to 79. But anything that was actually before 56 had a different shape and contour to it, and some of the stuff that were in the later 70s, they had a wire that passes through here. In fact, you can see the wire channel, and then normally there's a hole that goes up in here where the wires pass through, but this is actually an earlier piece of metal because that's from an oval. So many pieces on here are mismatched, but my original intent in here is to make this look as original as possible. And if I do get to a car show, I'm going to flip the carpet up on this thing, and I'm going to open that door, and I'm going to make people look down in here so they can see that this thing looks like, of course, it was stock. So this was Volkswagen's super special model that was built in 1956 for only limited German imports. They were special designed and modified by Porsche. I don't know, I can make up some horseshit story, but people will buy it. All right, we're going to keep on cutting and welding away on here. We got a bit more work to do filling this stuff in and getting these high spots now to match. And then once that's done, then I should be able to run all the way around it and get the thing welded in once and for all. Alright everybody, I gotta say thanks for watching. Really, I appreciate it. So please give me that likey for my performance here today. Please pluck that little dingle belly and hit the subscribe button. That way you get updates every time I upload a new video. And of course, check out Duckman Cycles VW Garage up on the Facebook group page. And don't forget, if you'd like to email me, duckmancycles@duckshit.net. I'm always answering everybody's questions. If you got anything you want to share with me, that's probably a good place to do it. Anyway, we're gonna keep on welding on this thing tomorrow, but it looks like I'm gonna have a very, very busy week ahead of me with a really busy schedule. I've got to do some computer upgrades for many different restaurants, and that's going to go on for the next several weeks. It's not an everyday thing, but it's going to be many days out of the week that's going to keep me really occupied. So my videos might be a little less frequent than they have been, but I'll do the best I can to get them up. And don't forget, also, my midday Q&As go up over on VV the Duck VV right now. I'd actually have them up right now, except it's been raining for the last 2.5 days. This is the first dry day we've gotten, and actually it wasn't even a dry day. It was raining up until probably about 2 o'clock today. And if you look around, you can still see the puddles and things in the road. So yeah, it's still wet out here. Still quite wet out here. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.